Hello Traders Dog here, so new week started and let's see what happened so far. First I want to thank you all for watching, please like and subscribe so I can continue to make more. Also I want to thank FundedNext for sponsoring this video. This week we took only one trade on US dollar Japanese yen and let's review this trade. First thing that we can see here is a strong downtrend. We can also see these nice and clear moves. Price only struggled around here when we have these strong bullish and bearish candlesticks and this week rejections. Quickly after that we can see that bulls took the control and pushed the price up. But here we can see that bulls lost the power. This move started very strong, but then eventually we can see that bulls lost this power. Price tested this significant zone that acted as a support here and then resistance here. So once I noticed this bearish pressure here and also stochastic RSI sell indication, I decided to enter a sell trade. We can see that bears pushed the price down and here is where I decided to enter a sell trade. As we can see, that was a good choice because price continued to go down and eventually hit my take profit. I decided to close here because it was late and I had to sleep. Yes, we traders sleep sometimes, so I didn't want to keep this trade and I closed it, but we can see that price continued to go down to hit our take profit. As you can see, I aimed for 40 pips and my stop loss was 20 pips, which means that we had risk reward ratio 1:2. Today I didn't took any trades. The reason for that is a market that looked like this, and when you see moves like this, you don't want to trade. Now I noticed one good opportunity that I missed, and it's this one here. What we have here is a nice bullish trend with higher highs and higher lows. We also have this clean market and price continued to go up with new higher highs and higher lows. So here it was a good place to enter a buy trade because price went down to test this previous high and we also have stochastic RSI buy indication. Price formed this bullish engulfing candlestick formation and as we can see it continued to go up. So it was a good choice to enter here, put stop loss below these candles and aim for a good risk reward ratio, let's say 1:2 or even 1:3. So as you can see, this was a very good opportunity, but I missed it. The New York session opened and we can see this mess. So shitty market like this is the reason why I didn't take any trades today. Now let's see what we can find on 1 hour time frame. This is British pound US dollar and here on 1 hour time frame we can again see this consolidation and this mess. So you don't want to trade this. Yes, you can go down on a 5-minute time frame and try to find something there, but I didn't manage to find any good entries today. With euro dollar we have very similar behavior. We have this consolidation, then price formed this nice bearish move, then price consolidated here and formed this aggressive bullish move. Now we can see that price is testing this resistance zone, but the problem here is this aggressive bullish move. So you don't want to sell after aggressive bullish move like this one here. This looks like a nice place to sell because we have this resistance and we also have stochastic RSI sell indication, but as I said, the problem here is this bullish move and also we have this massive bullish candlestick here. So that's the reason why I don't want to sell now. Now we have this gold chart and here we can see that price broke this resistance with this massive bullish candlestick. Before that, we got this new higher low and also break of this previous high. We can see that price formed bearish move to test this significant zone detected as a resistance here and then support here and here. Price then formed this massive bullish candlestick and also we have stochastic RSI buy indication. So we can see the price continued to go up with this aggressive bullish move and also price broke this previous resistance. Now we can see that price formed this slow bearish pullback and it is possible to see bullish continuation. And let's quickly review this DAX index 1 hour time frame. Here we can see this massive bearish move. Price then formed this pullback to test our significant zone. We can see that this zone acted as a support multiple times in the past and also as a resistance here. We can see that price formed this nice bearish reaction, but moves are very slow right now. Maybe eventually there will be a chance to sell and catch this bearish move. But for now we need to wait and be patient for the price to eventually give us a good reason to enter a sell trade. I quickly want to mention this new FundedNext AI assistant feature. It is a very cool tool that you can use anytime. You just need to click here and ask any question that is FundedNext related and it will answer you very clearly. But before you do that, I recommend you to check all these rules. As we can see here, you can scroll between all these challenges that FundedNext offers and you will get all the important information. So you can simply click on these challenges and here you will see all these important rules and also available add-ons. But if you want to compare all these challenges, you can simply click here, compare challenges. Now everything is at one place. Basically we have the Stellar, Stellar Lite and Stellar Instant accounts. For Stellar account, we have 1-step and 2-step accounts. And here you can see this table of all the rules. You can see here that your targets for Stellar 1 and 2-step are different. For example, with Stellar 2-step, obviously we have 2 steps, phase 1 and phase 2, and the targets are 8% and 5%. Overall loss limit is 10%, but on a 1-step Stellar account, overall loss limit is 6%. However, with a new Stellar Instant account, you don't have challenge phases, and also you don't have any profit targets. The only rule here is the 6% trailing stop loss, But also be aware that you cannot use copiers. However, you can hold your positions over the weekend, hold your positions open during the news, and also you can use expert advisors. Then if you have any additional questions, you can simply ask FundedNext AI and you will get all the answers. If you're interested to find out more, you can check the link in the description of this video. Good luck, traders. Market is closed now, and let's see these trades that we took in the past few days. So this Wednesday I took 3 trades, and this is the first one. It's on Australian dollar, Japanese yen, and what we have here is this very nice uptrend. We have very clean market and series of higher highs and higher lows. Price formed this new higher low here, and we also have stochastic RSI buy indication. So once I saw this bullish reaction here, I decided to enter a buy trade, but we can see that bulls lost the power. They tried to push the price here, barely broke this previous high, but quickly after that we can see that bears formed this strong bearish move. However, we can see that price formed this new support zone here. So once price formed this strong bullish candlestick here, I decided to keep this trade. We can now see that that was not a good decision because price formed this bearish move and easily stopped us out. So this trade ended in loss. However, we quickly recovered with this US dollar Japanese yen trade. What we have here is uptrend. We can clearly see that price formed this series of higher highs and higher lows. But then we can see that price failed to break this previous high and also form new lower low. So now we have lower high, lower low, and then price again form new lower high and lower low. And also if you look closely, we will see these strong bearish moves and these very small bullish pullbacks. So once price formed this pullback to test this zone here that acted as a resistance and then support, and then form this bearish reaction, I decided to enter a sell trade. We can also say that stochastic RSI gave a sell indication, and as we can see, this was a great entry because price went down to hit or take profit. We can see this bullish pressure here, but luckily price just retested this previous low and then continued to go down to hit or take profit. So this trade ended with nice plus 25 pips in profit. And we can see that my risk reward was 1.9, which is basically 1 to 2, and that is a good risk reward ratio that I aim for. I usually use around 1 to 2 or maybe 1 to 3. I rarely use a risk reward ratio that is higher than 1 to 3. This is just my preference. I'm not saying that's the only way. You can find your own style, and depending on that, you can use any risk reward that you like. But keep in mind that you should always use risk reward ratio that is greater than 1 to 1. So this here is not good risk reward ratio, and the minimum that I recommend is 1 to 2. And the last Wednesday trade was British pound US dollar trade. We can see here this nice and clean uptrend. Price basically broke this resistance zone here and continued to go up. We can also see that it formed this aggressive bullish move. After that, we can see that price formed this slow pullback, retested this high here, and it retested it with this very nice bullish candlestick. Also, we have stochastic RSI buy indication, and we can connect these higher lows with this bullish trend line. So once I saw that, I decided to enter a buy trade, put stop loss below these candlesticks, and again aim for a good risk reward ratio 1 to 2. This trade started very good. We can actually see this nice bullish move here, and that is when I decided to move stop loss to break even. I decided to protect this trade, and as we can see, that was a good decision because eventually price went down to hit our break even. We can see this very slow move here, but I decided to keep this trade because again, if you look closely, we can see that price retested this previous high. And also we have stochastic RSI buy indication. So I didn't want to close the trade. I decided to move stop loss to break even, but unfortunately we can see that eventually price went down to hit our break even. So this trade ended with 0, no profit and no loss. Next day was not very good for us and for me because we took 2 trades and both trades ended with loss. First trade was on British pound Swiss franc, and here we can see these very slow moves, and then eventually price formed this massive bullish move, and this was a reaction to the news. After that we can see the price form this minor pullback and then again bullish move. Then we can see this nice bearish pullback, but if you look closely we will see that this bearish pressure started to slow down here. And that is the exact moment where price retested this previous high. So once price retested this high with this bullish engulfing candlestick formation, and we also have stochastic RSI buy indication, I decided to enter a buy trade. We can see that price started to go up, but quickly after that bears formed this very strong bearish move. So at this moment I decided to exit because I didn't want to hold this position anymore. So the beginning of this trade was actually very good, and this is exactly what you want to see when you enter a trade. You want to see nice move in your take profit zone. But unfortunately here we can see that bears took the control and pushed the price down with this very strong bearish move that basically broke this previous low. So at this moment here I decided to close this trade with minus 10 pips. We can see that that was a good decision because eventually price formed another bearish move to hit our stop loss. So it was a good decision to exit earlier and minimize my loss. And the second trade is this Australian dollar US dollar trade. And this is the worst entry of the week and also the worst trade. Now, looking back at this trade, I don't know why I entered. We have this very nice bearish move, but then we can see this bullish pullback. Yes, here we can see this bearish pressure again, but other than that, we don't have any other reasons to enter. Basically, if you look back, we will find nothing here. There are no any key zones and key levels here. So basically price is floating in the air here, and yes, we have stochastic RSI sell indication, but as we can see, this here is not good enough reason to enter. Actually here we have more reasons to believe that price will continue to go down. So basically price formed this bullish move to test this previous high and price failed to break it. We can see this bearish pressure, also stochastic RSI sell indication, so it was a better place to enter here. But as we can see here, price eventually formed this very strong bullish move, so this trade wouldn't work either. Now let me show you another reason why this was not good entry. So this is the trade here, and if you look closely, you will actually see that price is retesting this significant zone. Basically what we have here is a resistance and then support, support, and now support again. So here we can say that price is testing our support zone, and that is when I decided to sell, which doesn't make any sense. You don't want to sell when price is testing a support zone. Also, you don't want to buy when price is testing a resistance zone. These here are two rookie mistakes, and here I made one. Basically, I decided to sell at this support zone, and of course it didn't work out. This was not a good entry, and also here on 1 hour time frame we have stochastic RSI buy indication. And as we can see here, price formed this bullish move. And finally today we took 3 more trades. First one is this British pound Australian dollar that didn't work out. We can see here this downtrend and all these lower highs that can be connected with this bearish trend line. Price then formed this higher low, broke our trend line, formed this very aggressive bullish move, and then went down to retest this significant zone that acted as a support here, and then as a resistance here. So once price went down to retest this significant zone and form this bullish engulfing candlestick formation, I decided to enter a buy trade, and also we have stochastic RSI buy indication. Unfortunately, this didn't work out because we can see that bears quickly took the control and pushed the price down. The mistake here is that I entered after this strong bearish pullback. As we can see, the intensity of this bearish move is very high, so it's not slow like this, for example. So this was very strong and intense bearish pullback, but I decided to enter a buy trade. So here I wasn't patient enough and I paid my price. But we quickly recovered with this Euro CAD trade. What we have here is this very strong bullish move, then aggressive bullish move, then we have this bearish pullback that quickly lost the power here. Also, we can see that price retested this previous high, and we have stochastic RSI buy indication. So after this bullish candlestick, I decided to enter a buy trade, put stop loss below this zone, and aim for risk reward ratio 1:2, and as we can see, price went up. So this was a beautiful trade, and we can see that price formed this nice bullish move and barely missed my take profit. So at this point I was very frustrated because price missed my take profit for 1 pip and then formed these 2 strong bearish candlesticks. But I decided to keep this trade because I believed in this analysis, and of course I moved stop loss to break even, and eventually we can see that price went up to hit my take profit. So this here is one very nice trade and very nice example of the strategy that I use. And finally the last trade is this Canadian dollar Japanese yen trade. So what we have here is this very aggressive bearish move. Price then formed this pullback and then nice bearish engulfing candlestick formation. We also had stochastic RSI sell indication, so I decided to enter a sell trade. The problem here is that this zone here is basically floating in the air, because if you look at the past, we will not find any key levels. And I'm not sure why I wasn't patient enough, but I decided to enter this trade, and then we can see that price formed this nice bullish move. Luckily for me, my stop loss placement was very good and price missed my stop loss and it went down. After that, we can see that price started to consolidate, and I decided to exit this trade at break even because I don't want to hold this trade over the weekend. So this entry here was not good, but luckily it was a good stop loss placement, so this trade ended with 0. No profit and no loss. So at the end of this week, we can say that we had 3 wins, 2 break-even trades, 3 losses and 1 minor loss, so basically 4 losses. So these are not the great results, but it's also not too bad, because obviously we use good risk reward ratio, so if you look at the terms of the pips, we ended this week in profit again. So this is a 3rd consecutive week with a positive results, and that is very good. As long as you are positive, it doesn't matter how much, it is a good thing. So hopefully this video helped you to understand my trades better, and if it is, please like and subscribe so you can continue to make more videos. Thank you for watching and trade healthy. Bye bye.